Southampton Central, Totton, Brockenhurst. I'm a sucker for a view. Give me a long train journey, a window and a stretch of sky, and I'll be set for life. Hypnotised by the sea of fields and trees, the eye makes an imprint of all that it sees, like the blue plains streaking white into the gleaming light, transfixed right until they're out of sight. Something in the light over that ridge just shouts home, something in the rapeseed, bursting fields outgrown, I remember now. The sun, the grass, the sea, the boy skipping fences, his jeans torn by barbed wire, cursing lightly, then eyes catching hilltops to smile, picking up his bag, brushing fringe and stepping on into the sheep-cut grass. The sight of sprawling fields ignites in me a strong pride, to know this tapestry is with me for the long ride. In my mind the seed erupts, suddenly I'm on side, staring down the coastal map from Chesil Beach to Golden Cap, it's a reach. But just like that, my mind's at home. All it takes is details of a leaf or a stone or a transmission tower like an age-old throne. These things will stay with me. I can't help but know.
There's a certain point on the horizon where the fields and the trees start to look that bit more familiar. And there's a feeling I just can't place that accompanies this crossing of borderlines, undefinable borderlines.
Branksome, Parkstone, Poole. My head is full of home, but one day I hope that a different place can help to clear the smoke, because there's just too much of the world to leave it all to the whims of my fearful scope. And this train is bringing me back from my Birmingham home, where the grind is a stark monochrome. The silver birch at my bedroom window, surrounded by flat pack estates. I'm impervious there to any beauty around me. The trees always shadows of somewhere I'd rather be. The buildings defacing the horizon, and mind all erasing like a tyrant. Closed with false walls imposed, living amongst people who'd never feel free, smothered close in my fields and trees, near choked by the countryside breeze, and still many hold hateful beliefs. Spending lifetimes surrounded by white minds, the very air tinged with acidity, and fear mere inches from bigotry.
There's a certain point on the horizon where the fields and the trees start to look that bit more familiar. And there's a feeling I just can't place that accompanies this crossing of borderlines, undefinable borderlines.
Hamworthy, Holton Heath, Dorchester South. I've left breath marks all up the window. The inside of my mouth is dry. Through the glass, the fields are mine now. The hedges all stitching the landscape's design, cows and villages, hamlets tucked in hillsides, sheep bleating protest to each other. An elderly gentleman squints at the sunset, face full of unrest, head full of prejudice, lines barely hiding my likeness, a future now melting away. I shake my head clean of him, come to properly, fasten my coat, have a last glance on both of the seats underneath, and then nod an apology to my neighbour for acting improperly. I stagger my suitcase doorwards and grip railing as the train comes to stop. The air greets me calmly, the hills map the distance, but the back of my mind knows they're already gone. The back of my mind knows they're already gone.
There's a certain point on the horizon where the fields and the trees start to look that bit more familiar. And there's a feeling I just can't place that accompanies this crossing of borderlines, undefinable borderlines. And there's a place beyond comprehension The eye knows not what it sees. Start to put the pieces in order. 'Cause the ripples unfolding my mind whisper secrecies, and the building of borderlines. Let me find all the borderlines and just tear them right down.